I'm making shrimp again, but this time I'm gonna spice things up. As always, list of ingredients below in description. And let's start with making a sauce that's gonna be star of this dish. I'm gonna use some yogurt, sriracha, garlic, just 1 clove of garlic. We're gonna squeeze it into a bowl. To that I added 100 grams of full fat yogurt and about 20 grams of sriracha. Of course, those things can be adjusted as you need. A little bit of chili powder. Stir everything together and set it aside to marinate while you're preparing the whole dish. I have here 8 ounces of large shrimp. I put a little bit of salt, black pepper, a dash of cumin, sweet paprika, and chili powder. I toss it all together and set it aside. Next, I'm gonna slice vegetables, peppers, onions, garlic, and jalapeno. I'm using here 2 slices of bacon to start off the dish and use the fat from bacon to fry the shrimp. I'm adding bacon to preheated pan and I'm trying to render as much fat as possible to add shrimp. This is pretty large shrimp, 21 to 25 count, which is a decent size. I spread them evenly over a very heated pan and fry them about a minute to 2 on each side. You don't have to cook them all the way through because we're gonna put them in a dish at the end. And when they're ready, scoop them all up and set them aside. Next, I'm gonna add 4 ounces of turkey sausage and fry it until it becomes nice and brown. If you want the dish to have even less calories, skip the sausage and just add a little bit more shrimp. And when the sausage is ready, I'm adding onion. I'm using just 1 large onion. I want to soften the onion first before I start adding the rest of the vegetables. But what's important here, I'd like to also season it up, meaning I'm gonna add some salt, pepper, and sweet paprika, which is gonna make the onion very nice and smoky and sweet at the same time. This process takes about 5, maybe 10 minutes, but it's very important for you to get that sweetness out of the onion. Next, I added garlic. I have here about 3 to 4 cloves of garlic and a whole jalapeno. If you don't like it too spicy, take the seeds out before you add it. And next, I put my peppers. I had one green and 1 red bell pepper. And I'm gonna season it again. A little bit salt, pepper, paprika, and this time I'm going to add chili powder and cumin. In this type of dish, probably no more than half a teaspoon each. This is just for a little bit of flavor. And let the vegetables cook for probably at least 30 to 40 minutes so they can get nice and soft. Once you cook them that way, the peppers and onions release a lot of sweetness and the dish tastes amazingly. Next, I'm adding tomatoes. I'm using here canned tomatoes because that's what I had. It's 3 very small tomatoes. If you don't have canned tomatoes, you can use just fresh tomatoes and the dish will be perfectly fine that way as well. I stirred everything up again and let it cook for another 10-15 minutes. After that, if you see that the sauce is very thick, you can thin it out a little bit with water and continue cooking on medium-high heat. This way of cooking will develop a lot of flavor for those vegetables. Now, in the meantime, what I did is I cooked grits. I used here a half a cup of grits with 2 cups of water, and I cooked it for probably 30 minutes with just salt. Then I'm adding here Munster cheese. It's a nice and creamy cheese, and let it dissolve in hot grits. Now, if I'm here counting calories, so I'm trying to use as few ingredients as possible, but you can add butter at this time to make the grits even better. Once the grits are ready, you can add more pepper or salt if needed. Set them aside. And the last step is adding the shrimp back to the dish after the vegetables are nice and soft. And you're pretty much ready to put it on a plate. This is a great dish. I love it a lot because it has very low calories and it's very high in protein. And it is really a perfect combination. And let's not forget, it's really tasty. This dish goes very well with that yogurt, garlic, and sriracha sauce that we made at the beginning. It's really garlicky, which adds a lot of spice besides sriracha, gives a great complement to this dish. If you don't like grits, you can also serve the shrimp with rice, quinoa, or any type of grain you like. I really like the fact that this dish, as you can see, it's served on a huge plate, and it has only 594 calories and 66 grams of protein. And that's a winner in my recipe book. Enjoy! And if you like this dish, don't forget to subscribe.